Hey everyone, welcome to the Midnightgrabbag Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Taylor, and here I'm with
Chris.
So we're back at it again with a lot of hot topics, even though February's been quiet until a couple of days ago. And then when everything happens. So to get started, we can talk about what we talked about last time. We was talking about how Until Dawn was getting turned into a movie. But recently it was just announced that Until Dawn is being remade for being remastered, people would say, for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC. So with that, Supermassive Games and Ballistic Moon is apparently in development with it. And a lot of people thought like remasters would be like, oh, we're just gonna change the color of the game, we're gonna make it brighter, right. Less pixels. But then recently somebody on Twitter posted that there is gonna be a lot of changes made into this remaster. And like, so the changes on this list as included, and I'll put a link down below the video so everybody else can see it to give credit where credit's due, is that it includes a share story mode from the Dark Pictures, because Dark Pictures, if anybody knows, is also the Devil in Me and all them. You can play with a friend. Like, y'all can be in two different households and work on the same story, but it would be shared. It will stop and switch to the next person.
Which that's, I think, a good idea, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's really good, because I thought Until it had that, but I guess I ignored it, or maybe it came to the next game, which was like the Man of Medan or something like that.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Because then maybe they was the one that started it and was like, look at this new thing we're doing. But maybe.
Right.
They confirmed that all the actors are coming back to reprise their roles, which is good. I'd be very surprised if they did. So that really showed that they are changing a lot if they're reprising people's roles.
Absolutely. I think that it would have flopped if they didn't recast the same people. Like, it just wouldn't have gone anywhere.
Because again, with remasters, I thought it just meant we're gonna make it brighter. So like, you didn't have to really bring anyone back because you still have the models and stuff. But I guess like, since things are changing, they need to. They said that they're gonna change the game to make sure it's more canon to the Dark Picture universe. So connecting it to the rest of the seasons of like Devil Within and stuff. So what I feel like my prediction with that is like the therapist guy. I guess he's gonna have more of a role.
Yeah, probably.
Because I haven't played all the games yet, but playing Devil Within and stuff was having a therapist guy there. I thought I was a character, because in Until Dawn we kind of discovered, spoiler, that it's like Josh, I think, talking to the therapist. Yes. So it was like, so I just assumed like that's how the therapist was working throughout all the games, but apparently after that it's mostly the therapist talking to us, the person, like a YA novel type of style.
Right.
After that, so when they say change it to canon, they're probably going to make the therapist maybe more broad and not be like, we're talking to Josh only.
Right. I could see that.
The first half has been redone. The killer is an actual killer this time and not Josh. It's gonna be that's gonna be weird that Josh is not a killer.
Yeah, because I mean that was something that I really liked about the first one, like about Until Dawn, like the original one, was like, you do think, oh, we're doing a spooky whodunit serial killer kind of thing. Sorry, my cat's being psycho. But then it turned out it was Josh, and again, I mean, ultimately, out of all the characters, Josh was the only one that didn't actually hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Like, and so now they're just gonna be like, oh, now there's a real killer. So like, I guess the spooky monsters aren't enough. Like, we have to throw in a serial killer.
I guess they have time to change.
Right, and I mean, maybe it'll be fine. But
it sounds like here they already did it. They already did half of it already.
Right. Like, I mean, you know, people are allowed to make creative choices. It's fine.
We'll test them out. Maybe, right. I don't know. Wendy's would get more screen time, which I didn't think about it, that the Wendy's didn't have free time at all They didn't have a lot of screen time.
No, they didn't really. Up until the end, like the climax of everything was kind of when they showed up and started spooking around. So, yeah, I mean, I think that would be great because they were horrifying, like so scary. So putting them on a little bit more might make it a little scarier.
Yeah. And then so they're going to do more branching off paths, so more decisions to be made.
Right.
They said they're going to get more screen time for characters such as Matt and Jessica.
Okay.
As like more deaths and new ending. So it just says endings or not endings. So it's just one.
They're just adding one new one. I wonder. Well, I guess if they're adding like a real serial killer or whatever, and maybe it has to do with that. I don't know.
I wonder if they're going to use the same serial killer from Devil Within.
Yeah, to kind of, because you said they were trying to canonize it. So yeah.
Because at the end of Devil Within, it's like they didn't die. They showed that they came back, and then another group of kids is going to the hotel now.
So what like time period did that take place? Like, because I didn't play that one.
It's like modern day.
Okay, so Until Dawn would be before.
Yes.
Okay. So I was trying to think of like the timeline since it's all going to be one big canon thing.
Yeah, because the serial killer Devil Within is from like during Jack the Ripper time when he was established. He's the canon as the first American serial killer is what this guy is. And then the whole thing is them freaking out that he got caught, and when he got the death penalty, he never died because he was hung, but he never died from being hung. So they tried to electrocute him, still didn't die. So it was just a lot of times they tried to kill him, but he didn't die. So he said, if you want to kill me, you have to bury me and put cement on top, which they did. So they thought that was the end of him, but apparently it wasn't. But so these are what the new paths are that they probably be adding. This person said, from what I was told, Chris, Ashley, and Josh can die in the first half of the game.
Okay.
And they said there's no more plot armor for characters like Mike and Sam. Mike can now die at the sanatorium. Sam can now die in the caves.
Okay.
Mike can save Jessica in chapter 4, and they can explore the sanatorium together.
Okay. Interesting.
And then if Matt escapes the Wendy's in chapter 6, he now shows up at the lodge at the same time Emily does in chapter 8.
Okay.
So those are all the latest news of that.
I need to replay it and get ready to see what all the changes are. Because, like, I mean, I'm gonna get it. Like,
I'm trying to see this other person's. Apparently, there's other news that just broke with Until Dawn. So,
good timing.
Yeah. So apparently, if Jess is in the mines, she can possibly escape now.
Okay, which I think is a good option.
And then there's a scene of most likely Sam meeting Mike in the basement, like after the shower scene, and she goes, they can meet up down there. And then there's a scene where Jessica escaping the mines, and then she can possibly not meet Mike at the end in the mines. So, because someone shows screenshots of those specific scenes. So interesting. Yeah. I don't know how reliable this page is, but they have screenshots of the actual game that was not in the game, unless they're a very good editor that quickly. But
right.
I was like, we don't know. So it's all this is allegedly, but it's like there's some interesting decisions in there, and then I support what they're doing and stuff. But what sucks with Supermassive Games is that they just did a really big layoffs recently, which is another big layoffs in the gaming industry that's been going on a lot lately. Has been an ongoing pattern. because of a lot of got a burp. So like a lot of people in the industry lately has realized that they're overstaffed because during the pandemic they needed a lot of staff. The gaming industry blew up and everybody's been needing them. Like Dungeons and Dragons became a big thing during the pandemic, so Wizard of the Coast like merged with Hasbro and became big. Yep. But now we're post pandemic and a lot of brands are like pulling out from sponsorship gigs, and a lot of that's been happening. So a lot of companies are losing a lot of money. They made up a lot of roles that they really didn't need at that time, where somebody else could do that position. They just paid them a little bit more money, so you don't have to worry about all that. So a lot of people has been doing that. So now Supermassive Games has laid off 90 people because it was already a pretty small gaming company already.
They were huge.
And so, but this is their official statement from Supermassive Games. It said, "It's no secret that the game industry is currently facing significant challenges, and unfortunately, we aren't immune to this. After much deliberation and with deep regret, we are therefore undertaking reorganizations of Supermassive Games. As a result, we are entering into a period of consultation, which we anticipate will result in the loss of some of our colleagues. This is not a decision that has been taken lightly, with many efforts made to avoid this outcome. We are too aware of unsettling and difficult this process is going to be for all of our employees, and we'll be working closely with all those involved to ensure the process conduct as respectfully and compassionately as possible. We are committed to focus our efforts on our core strengths and upcoming titles to ensure that they continue sustainability of the company."
That sucks.
Yeah, and now just an hour ago, Sony just laid off 900 employees.
Wow.
Yeah, the trending of this has been nuts. Like more and more people are just losing their jobs left and right, and then they're trying to get more positions in their field, but they can't get the position in their field because they're laying off people too.
Well, yeah, that's like, I get that. Oh, there was a need, there was a demand, so therefore we had to supply whatever. But to just be like, oh, well, and I also get like, oh, well, let's be more efficient. Let's organize our company better. That stuff. But just to be like, all right, bye. Because, like in a couple of months, if something else like blows up, they're going to be like, oh, we got to hire all these people again. Like,
yeah. Like,
because that's what the Helldivers, whoever made Helldivers 2, like, had to hire on so many new people because their game popped off so hard. Like,
but that's also something to like learn, is that there's a difference between like hiring on people as employees and having contractors, freelance people. And that's the thing, is that like companies either need to learn that if they're your permanent employees or are they going to be freelance. So like if it's freelance, then they can better have an understanding like, oh yeah, okay, my time would be done at this time. And then if you guys confirm to do like another year of working and stuff, then you can continue that aspect. And it gives them freedom to look up other positions that might be more permanent and everything. So it won't be as just heartbreaking or out of the blue or suddenly every time. Because like seeing it all over TikTok, people is like, I might be getting laid off today, and then film themselves getting laid off. Like it's been like heartbreaking. Like Discord did it, Twitter did it, Facebook did it. Anything that have to do with the internet world has laid off so many people lately, and it's been nuts. And I feel for them, and I wish them all the best. And hopefully in their, because the job market sucks right now.
Yes. Yeah.
Like most of the time, most of the places that you're trying to apply for, you have to be internally already there.
And it's impossible to do that because you know that like the entry positions are what's getting laid off first. All the like office or what's getting plucked off because, you can get rid of a lot of them and it saves you a lot of money. But like oh, well, you can't get this better position because you have to work here for so long. If you're gonna like it, like,
Right.
Or I mean, anyone within the gaming industry, well, I started here, but they laid off. Well, then you did the experience that you needed for another position somewhere else.
Yeah, so far at this moment in time, the only gaming industry company that has not did any layoffs is Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, Nintendo, his statement was that I will not be laying off anyone. I'm just going to take 50% off of my salary, the CEO.
Hi.
That's what I feel like most people need to do. Like, I don't know how much these CEOs are being paid, but I feel like if they just take the pay cut, you can keep your employees. But they're afraid to lose any type of money if they're six figures. So they like the only choice they feel like they have is to lay off.
Well, and it's like, I mean, cutting their salary even in half, they're probably still making more than all of their employees combined.
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah. It was like, but no, you still get to keep their job, and a lot of people need to look into that. Just take it from the CEO.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take it from the top, then work your way bottom.
Yeah, like, why cut out these people that are literally just trying to feed their families?
They're
Like,
literally eating crumbs right now, and you're just like, yeah, we just get rid of them, it'd be fine.
like, that's fine.
I'm like, what? It's like, what about you CEOs with the six figures and all that jazz up top? Like, what?
But I might have to sell one of my 15 private jet.
I can't sell my yacht.
I need at least 6 of those because that other CEO over there has 8, and I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah, like, I can't do that. Can't do it, not at all. And it's like, none of them is ever like transparent. It's like, this is why we cut it from this department. Like, making up numbers. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Whatever your accountant says.
Right, whatever your PR person is telling you to tell people so that you don't look like such a dude.
Yeah. I'm never gonna be surprised. But speaking of like corporation surprises and stuff, right now, allegedly Critical Role is under heat right now, which is never yikes. Like, so there was a TikToker, I believe their name is Candace. They made a TikTok about how multi-billion-dollar companies that plays like D&D and stuff, and if you can afford celebrities and you can afford diversity at your table. And like, this TikToker has never said anyone's name, no tables, nothing, no allegations or anything. But the Critical Role fandom really showed themselves in the comment section talking about it. And I was like, well, you guys really played yourself because nobody has said it. So if you guys are bringing it up about lack of diversity at the table, that means you notice it too.
Right.
And then so the biggest thing they kept on talking about is, oh, they're just a silly group of friends playing. And I'm just like, not anymore.
Back when it started, absolutely, or even like a couple of years ago. But like you said, if you're making enough to pay celebrities to be on it, like, you can't use that, oh, we're just friends, we're just all friends doing it. And like, they are all famous voice actors, so yeah, you're probably friends with these people, but you're still paying them to be on your show. Like,
yeah, it's just like, people are just realizing this now, that there's like, they're all white people, most likely straight too. I have to double check, but I think a lot of them are like just white straight people right now.
Right.
And it's just like, yeah, they have their tokens at the table. Abria, Lou, who else? Yeah. It's like, but there's never a permanent cast member. That's what we're all asking about. They all are always special guests, maybe for this one-time series or something, but never a permanent casting. And then
it's just oh, this looks good for a little while. Like, see, we're doing what you wanted. We're being diverse.
We
like,
added
it's
this. Or like not to like call them out, but like Marsha and Sam, they have characters of POCs. They're like, we added diversity. These two white people are playing black characters or POC characters. And it's just like, not trying to tell people that they cannot play POC characters. Number one, you just got to do it right, do your research. But you can also just have people of color at your table. Stop that.
Or
hard.
if you wanted to like have a rotating cast or something, like I don't know. And I think that
make nobody permanent.
Right, and I don't know, that fan base is gonna get you every time. Like,
yeah, but it's like there's no big secret that their viewership has gone down, especially
they've been, I think, it feels like grasping at straws for a long time, because I think everybody just kind of got bored. Like, there's so many other D&D podcasts with richer casts and like more diversity. Like, there's tables that specify there would be all POC tables or all queer tables, or like things that like people are looking for. Most people aren't looking for a table of only white straight people. And if you are, well, there you go, it's right there. But their viewership is going down because there's a lot more people doing it, and they're doing it better. Like, don't come for me, but it is what it is. And
like, I was gonna say, like, more recently, I got like interviewed about why do people feel connected to who they watch. And a lot of people, they said during that time, they said a lot of people are more connected to who they watch because they relate to them, or they feel connection to them in some shape or form. And they love that journey. And it's like, I will not feel a connection to a white man.
No. And it's like, I'm not the biggest, like, Critical Role fan, and it's nothing against them or anything. It's just not really my cup of tea, personally. And I think when I've seen other tables play characters that don't represent them necessarily, they do it more authentically, I feel. Not everyone, obviously, but there's plenty of podcasts that I think do it very well. And when I've seen Critical Role do it, it doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel like it's something that they're wanting to portray or anything. It's just something like, oh, well, we need to check certain boxes, so let's do it. Like, it just feels forced. It feels pushed, and I don't personally gel with that. Like,
it was like, because I did make a tweet recently about like, it's not just Critical Role, there's other tables I have seen.
Absolutely.
Like, there's other tables I have seen that's like, they're popular but not like Critical Role popular, but them being like an all white men table and then playing black women and like not doing it correctly, describing them as food and all that stuff. Like, come on. Like, it's giving that you never had a black friend. It's giving that if you do have a black friend, they are afraid to correct you and talk to you aspect, and you should be able to reflect yourself on that. Like, and it's just like, again, I don't care if you do play a black character, just do your research on doing it. Like, I played on a table recently, and there was somebody that they are in a wheelchair, and they are playing a character who's also in a wheelchair, and they took the time to talk to us about how do you interact with people in wheelchairs, how to do certain scenes and stuff, educated us for about 15 to 20 minutes on that aspect, and it helped us out. They felt safe, they felt comfortable. It educated me in the future for if anybody else plays a wheelchair character. It was really nice to have that moment, have that person come and talk to us before we started that game during session 0. And like, Like, because I told people, like, I don't mind, like, coming to people's tables and tell them, it's like, this is how you play a Black woman, and this is how you should describe hair and stuff like that. Because, like, one of the tables, like, one of the people that I saw is that when people drew fan art of this character, they was like, oh, she should be lighter, or her hair shouldn't be that nappy. And I was just like, but she's a Black woman.
Right.
I'm like, that's what a Black woman is, unless you're describing that she got a relaxer and a silk press in her hair, but those words didn't come out of your mouth. Right. Those are not the words you describe it. And I know this is trying to be like, we're just trying to escape the real world and stuff like that, but Black people are not fantasy. We're resist.
No. Well, and I respect tables also that just don't, like, describe that, like, just describe their characters like, oh, I'm playing like an elven woman, and then the fans can take that and create what they want with it. Like, I think that's great. I also think it is great to be very descriptive and be like, this is the character that I'm playing.
Yes,
as long as it's all respectful and done well. And I feel like if you're like me, I'm a white girl, if I wanted to play a Black character, I would go to you and say, hey, how can I do this? Yeah. I want to represent them in the best way possible, not just me being like, well, I've never had this experience before, but I might as well just figure it out myself. Like, no, it gives the ick. It's not. No, I'm not a fan.
Not a fan. It's just like, again, like, they're trying to do representation, but do it right. Like,
yes. It feels worse when it's done badly.
Yeah. And
like,
and I was like, and then a lot of people took the video as like, oh, so you're telling me my friend group table, we're supposed to be diverse and stuff like that. Number one, we're not talking about your table. And number two, you should reflect in your life why you don't have a Black person at your table or Black friends.
Like, and it's like, again, everybody has to take everything so personally. This is coming at me. It's not. Like, what you do in your own free time is your business.
Yeah.
But a company, even smaller creators, like, again, you do you, whatever, but a big brand like Critical Role, it's a brand. They have official shit in the 5e Dungeons and Dragons. Like, they need to do better. And it just feels like they're like, oh, but we're just a little group of friends. We're just a small podcast. But you're not.
You're not small. You're a multi-billion-dollar company officially now. You're
like, when you say D&D podcast to anybody, what is the first thing they're gonna think of?
Critical Role.
Like, y'all have an anime on Amazon. Like, no, you need to do better.
That's like, it. You have a whole anime on Amazon. That's it. Like, that should tell you everything you need to know.
Right.
They have literally making their own systems for the rest of the time as well. Like, they're doing all this, like, because, like, I am personally a big fan of Dropout TV, aka Dimension 20, because they try their best to show as much diversity as they can, and it's a white man, and that's a white man owning this company. And like, it was like Sam Rice. Like, recently there was an article talking about how Dropout is like taking over the world. Like, the streaming service is so cheap, $5, or you could just, I think, pay like $80 for the year or something like that. It was something cheap. Like, it was crazy. Right. In the end, like, it's like, you don't need Netflix. You don't need anything. The shows they have on there, amazing. I feel seen on those shows. They are like, they always have different guests DMing. Yeah. Abria's there a lot. It's not just one gaming or gone. Abria is still hosting games on there. It's not just Brandon Lee Mulligan. The tables, I have never seen so diverse in my life of everybody. It's just a breath of fresh air when I see them. And it's really
they're all like real people. Like,
yes.
It's not like, none of them fit into a box. You disappeared.
I'll be back in a moment.
Okay. But it's not like, it just feels like real people. It doesn't feel like I'm watching like actors and like, stuff. And
because I know they're all comedians.
Cycles. Right. But it's never like the same people constantly forever.
Right. Like, and not
that there's anything wrong with that. Like, nobody is saying that that's bad. Nobody is saying that's wrong. But they're kind of, I feel like, giving this standard now, like, you know, have people get world experience, make new friends, like, I don't know, get out of your little bubble.
Yes, like, get out. There's a world out there. Right. Like, I know people are like, I'm afraid to bring people to my table and stuff like that. Okay, whatever, big eye roll. But it's just like, if you want to network, you gotta network.
Right.
And I was like, again, you pay for a whole celebrity to be on the show. Like, you don't know. Most of these celebrities never played D&D before in their life.
Yeah.
It's like
y'all need to probably take some of that money and hire some like consultants.
Yes.
And work on yourself a little bit. Yeah. Do some self-reflecting. It's 2024. Do better.
Diversity, inclusion, and stuff like that. You live in California, the biggest state of diversity and inclusion in the world, and all you found in your life is just white people.
Reflect a little.
Reflect. Straight white people. But yeah, that's like in the D&D realm. My rant is over.
Talk about D&D forever.
But that was just some crazy drama and stuff, and I just had to I just reflected on it and like had to call out other tables. I didn't say what the tables are, but they did put out apologies about them making this character, and hopefully they did do better. I didn't watch and stuff, so hopefully they did learn their lesson. But it's whatever. I wish them all the best.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. And this isn't the first time, like with Critical Role when Wizards was doing all their stupid stuff. They were just like, they give us a lot of money, so we can't say that we're against them, but like, sorry if this hurts anybody's feelings. Hey, bye.
Yeah, the Critical Role doesn't say like anything anything about like Palestine or anything like that. It took them forever to put out a statement about it. While like Dimension Tronny dropped out, they already donated $10,000 immediately.
Yeah, I think that they're very, and maybe it is because they are probably way more owned by Wizards than we even realize, but like they are on a very tight leash, maybe social media wise, but none of them do or say anything.
Yeah.
So, and maybe it is because they are also voice actors and this isn't their main job, so they're trying to just save face and not have an opinion about anything.
No, they all during Black History Month.
It's rude.
Very rude. Very rude. Stay rude. So what's going on in your neck of the woods of internet wise?
Not much, but I have been like probably everybody on TikTok obsessed with what was her name? Risa Teresa's.
Yeah.
Who the fuck did I marry?
Yeah.
That was some crazy stuff. It was like, I think regardless of like the story itself, just her execution of it, like her storytelling was like spellbounding. Like I kept watching because I was like, she was just so good at like giving you enough information and then like you had to go to the next video. I had to keep watching. And I'm probably going to do the most bastardized summarization, and I apologize to anybody and everybody, but basically, like, met this dude on Tinder, or, no, she met on Facebook, dating, and then I guess she also matched with him on Hinge or Bumble or one of those sites, and he had a whole different name and everything, but I guess she didn't realize that they were the same person until later. Met this guy. It was pandemic time, so you know, it was a weird time, and so I think after not knowing each other very long, they decided to quarantine together, so he basically just moved in, and just red flag after red flag after red flag, but like I said, it was COVID time. Even she was like, you know, I should have seen this, but
it was like blinded, because I know that when they met, like, I know the biggest joke is to never have your first date at a Cheesecake Factory. It was always an ongoing joke, but like she was trying to meet him up at Cheesecake Factory, but her tire blew, and then she went to a gas station, and then he showed up looking like his picture, so she's like, oh my god, this man exists.
Oh oh no, he's hot.
He's real. And then like his whole like cover story of being like from like, oh, I'm from California and then I moved here because my ex-wife is crazy. I'm cool with the stepkids or something like that. I was like, okay. And then the arena football.
Yeah, there was like, he was just so fixated on that. And I think it was like, I don't know, when you read through the comments and stuff, there were so many like, fate was trying to stop you so many times, like busting your tire out and like, again, throwing you all these red flags, and you were just like, hey, no.
Yeah.
Not me.
Pandemic time makes you feel lonely.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what she was like. She's like, I didn't want to quarantine by myself, and he was paying my bills. Like, okay, I mean, I don't blame you. Not at all.
Yeah, I don't blame.
But I was just like, and then I mean, basically, like, he's promising to buy her house. She gets pregnant. He's like, oh, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to buy you this car, all these fancy cars. So they spent, like, weekends, like, many weekends test driving, like, Audis and, like, all kinds of fancy cars and everything. And something would always happen. And I'm like, I mean,
yeah.
But I think the craziest thing was when he was like, the fact that he would just talk on the phone all the time.
Right.
To nobody. Like,
yeah. It was like, I love like all the memes that people have been having with the whole like, well, now all of a sudden, like, I need to question my husband. Are they really talking to their mom?
I know, I put it on speakerphone. Let me say hi. Let me say hi. Like, hi, hello. Okay, you're real. Who are you really?
I was like, you're the mom, right? Mommy.
And like, I've been lying about like his grandma dying and like taking her to like a random grave site and stuff. Like,
that's crazy.
Yes, like he was just insane. The
long game.
I mean, yes, like I don't know. I was just captivated, like, and again, you're like, oh, like, I mean, my fiance has not ever shown me any red flags, but like, let me check your bank statements.
Yeah.
Okay, pull it up right now. Offshore accounts, you got any of those?
How many phones? How many phones?
What did you do in college? Did you play arena football?
Are you sure you was swimming?
Like, oh my god, it was just wacky, and I think I also would have probably ended it by like, hey, you know, I'm calling the cops. I'm getting your ass arrested.
Yeah.
Like, basically, he was just living his twin brother's life. Like, his twin brother was the VP at a condiment company and drove the Bentley or whatever and all this stuff. I'm like, ugh.
Which is crazy. Like, they try to do all that. Man, like, I know a lot of people's like, wow, I can't wait for this to be like a whole movie or a show or something like that.
It 100% is gonna be, and I really hope that she does get like all the brand deals. I hope she gets that car. I can't for the life of me remember what kind of car.
She already got that verified check on TikTok. So
yes.
She's good. She's golden.
Get your brand deals. Get your money.
She
get
is
everything.
Set.
Like, you deserve it. You deserve the world. Like, just wild. I can't imagine.
It's nuts. I don't know. I was just like in shock. Like, I hope somebody makes it into a movie or something with her permission, of course. I was like, I wonder who would play her in the movie.
I don't know.
I
think she should just play herself.
Oh yeah, if she wants to relive all that.
That's fair. That is very fair.
I was like, in the world of stuff, I think Octavia Spencer would be a good choice.
Yeah,
she
absolutely.
looks like, I think Octavia Spencer playing her would be good. I don't know who played Legion. Pick out any random black man from Tyler Perry and then go on with life.
Like, there we go.
There's like any of the, like, a lot of people's telling people, it's like, don't let Tyler Perry take this. Don't let him get it.
Well, I was like, damn, I mean, it's kind of like looking at it, you're like, man, this is fucking crazy. You're like laughing like, oh my gosh, but like, this would make a good like suspense movie. Like, her life sounded like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, I feel for her. That's awful.
Yeah, I know she added like an update today.
She added an update today?
Yeah. I don't know too much about it. I was like, I just saw that she was like February 27th, and I was like, still going. I'm never gonna catch up on the series. There's still more parts.
Never.
Like, the thing is, she is the queen of using all the time on that TikTok app. I hate when people put it on the 60 seconds mark, even though you can do 10 minutes. You can do 2 minutes. You could record it on your iPhone and then reposted it on your phone while worrying about the time and they're fine. But I hate it when people just use the 60-second thing and be like, follow the part 2, and there's only 15 seconds of them explaining over and over what the story is going to be about. Well, continue on the story. With her, she used a full 10 minutes, and I appreciate her. But like, damn, 50 parts.
Literally, I was like, I just watched a full ass featured film and then the sequel. Like,
yeah, it's a whole work shift. It's 8 hours. It's a whole work shift if you want to listen. A lot of people said they've been listening to it in the hair salon. It's becoming the TV show. I'm like, damn.
Right.
I will hunker down. I think I'm just waiting for somebody to put it all on YouTube so I can just watch it as a whole YouTube video and compose it so I can know where the hell I stopped at and everything. But like, yeah, I was like, oh my god, this is a whole Netflix series already.
Absolutely. Netflix is probably gonna be picking it up. It's gonna be 2026. Like, it's just gonna be titled Legion.
Yeah. Like, I was like,
that's probably a thing, but
probably Legion is like a killer off of Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
But like, speaking of Netflix, I know you probably haven't seen it yet, but the Avatar live action.
I have not, but it's on my list. I just finished Has Been, so I'm plugging my way through.
I was like, Has Been's great. I really enjoy Has Been. I really did miss all the original voice actors that they did have, but they did a really good job on the series. But the live action Avatar, I personally love it. I'll give it a nice 8 out of 10.
I'm really excited to start it because when we were talking about it, I was like, I loved Avatar growing up. It was one of my favorites, but I am an adult now, and I would love to see this show aged up and take on the serious topics in a less silly way.
Yes, and
it sounds like that's exactly what it did.
They did a really good job exploring certain topics more heavily and throughout. They canon a lot of things that they couldn't canon on the show, which I think they did really great. Trying to do like no spoilers and stuff. I think the only thing I had issues with was just costuming. Like, costuming looks great, just didn't make sense for the scenes. If you fell in water and you got out of water, wouldn't you be wet?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's my biggest gripe with like Amazon, period. Like, I just personally think if you're paying millions of dollars for something, you should not be able to be shown up by cosplayers.
Yes.
And I just don't get it. I mean, I have the same opinion on like Disney World. They banned cosplayers because their costumes sucked.
Yes.
And cosplayers were showing up, but like, you have so much money. Pay these cosplayers to make the costumes.
Like, at this moment in time, cosplayers needs to be costume designers if they want to. Like, that was to say, and then the wig, the fucking Amazon wig. It has one of the wigs of one of the characters just looks like it was a shake it, put a couple of barrettes in it, and go on with life. Like, you could have done more. You could have get a can of hairspray and added some volume, anything. You could have done a lot of things, buddy, and you decided not to.
I just don't, like, you all make so much money. And I get that, like, in their mind, they're probably not like, oh, we should use all of our money on costuming and blah, blah, blah. But it's like,
I know.
You should.
I know they put it on a CGI and martial arts classes and so which looked great. They did an amazing job. They trained everything. All the actors, age appropriate, good grade.
That's good.
I love my new husband, Daniel Day-Kim. Well, a lot of people call him Daddy Day-Kim. Fucking Fire Lord. He killed that role so much.
He's fucking fire.
He's fucking fire. Like, it made me think, like, man, maybe the Fire Ministry has some good points, man. He could just.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna say no.
Like, he can just manipulate you by blinking. I'm like, I melted.
Done. Yeah, I'm good. What team am I on? Who am I
I was like, we're killing the Northern Water Tribe to go. Anything you say, Daddy Dinky. Anything you want, good sir. Like,
sir.
I was like, man, he's so fit. I forgot he played on so many shows. He was on The Good Doctor. He was on a lot of things. I had to rewatch other things. Like, so I'm falling in love with this man all over again. I love him.
Oh,
he's good sir. Like, he's single. I was like, God, that's my man of the month. I could look at her fucking fire being fucking fire, and he knows he's handsome. He knows, and it's annoying that he knows.
It's not like he knows, but in that like sexy cocky way, not that like I'm hot. I know I'm hot.
He's like, some people call me like a zaddy, like he doesn't know what that means. You know what it means.
And he's like, what?
You're like, well, what's a zaddy? I'm like, stop.
Sir, you.
Like, they already made edits before he even was the Fire Lord. Like, they know. Mm-hmm. That's the fan service we asked for. And they delivered.
10 out of 10.
Like, 10 out of 10 will fuck
always. A lot right. You got a lot right, but you did it.
You did it. You got Daniel Day Kim and you knew it. You know what to do. Oh, man. We got like 15 minutes left. We want to do some Am I the Assholes?
We can. I think I had one pulled up, but then I pulled up until dawn. So
no, you're good. I have one put up right now if you want that. It's like it just came out like 11 hours ago, so it's fresh new. So it says here, am I the asshole for canceling on my friend as soon as she showed up?
I mean, probably.
But we'll hear them out.
Canceled before. But, I feel like there might be some juicy details I'm missing.
Yeah, we'll hear them out. So, it says, my friend is chronically late and a flake. She blames it on the ADHD. But I know it's because she just doesn't give a shit about being on time. And it's because she always keeps her options open for more appealing activities. Even after making firm plans. I was like, she doesn't even apologize when she shows up late. The only apologize anyone ever gets is when she is a complete no show. And even then it's half-hearted. I've been putting up with this because she really is great when she finally shows up, but my patient has been wearing thin. A couple weeks ago, she hosted a V-Day brunch. It was also her birthday. And picked a place that would 100% give your table away if you don't arrive on time with your full party. Everyone else got there a little early to be safe, including her. I was honestly shocked, and when we all got seated, I let her know that I was going to go ahead and cancel the upcoming dinner that we had planned it. And since this was the last straw for me, she just showed everyone that she was perfectly capable of being on time when it was her thing on the line. So I wasn't going to put up with her chronic lateness anymore. And I was happy to still have a casual hangout with her, but this would be the last time I was going to do anything with her that requires showing up at a specific time. I said that in front of everyone, and in the words of the great Tim Robinson, nobody says shit, dude. Nobody says shit. She brushed it off, yelled at me, and in parentheses, yelled at me after, but brushed it off in the moment. And we all had a nice brunch. And I guess other friends felt the same way because no one has planned any kind of lunch meetup or movie or anything specific start time with her since. And now today is when our planned dinner was going to be. And she asked me if we're still on for it. And I said, no, question mark. And I felt like I was pretty clear before, we can hang out when you get off work, but I'm not waiting around for you anymore. She is irate, and I even saying I'm being ableist towards her, it feels bad because she's clearly hurt, but I'm always tired of feeling hurt and embarrassed waiting on her to show up all the time.
Yeah, not the asshole. I understand running late. Like, I am a late person. The ADHD is a bitch, but to be unapologetic and to be able to show up on time, like, oh, well, I know that I need to be here because it's my thing, that's shitty. And, like, again, just to, like, flake out and not show up to something, like, I might be running late to it, but, like, I'm always gonna be there. But, yikes. That sucks.
Yeah, so like reading the comments, overall, everyone has said you're not the asshole right now. And
Technically, they canceled before.
Yes.
They just showed up. So.
Yeah. So, like, because a lot of the comments say you're not the asshole, not for what you did, but how you did it. Because it's like bringing it up during her birthday dinner.
Yeah, you could have, I mean,
that was a conversation
talked to her after. Yeah, or, I mean, even, I feel like a text would have been better than at her birthday brunch or whatever.
Yeah, because I think another comment said, wait a minute, did I miss something? This friend is always late, but during the one time she arrives early to prove that she's on time, that's the moment you tell her that being late is the final straw and then next dinner is canceled. What, honestly, if she was late, that would make sense, but she wasn't. What am I missing? And they say, you're not the asshole, they said. But it's, somebody else replies, said, sounds like more like the OP was done with the friend a long time ago, only just came to realization neither outcome was going to sway they felt anymore. So they had like 49 upvotes and 222 upvotes for both comments. So yeah, I said they're not the asshole, but I said they should have done it like in a different fashion. Like, just enjoy the dinner. Enjoy that she was actually on time for her thing, and then had the conversation with her.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, doing it during the dinner was kind of shitty, but like I understand when you just get fed up with like how somebody acts and you're like, no, I'm done. But you probably should have waited just a little bit. But yeah, yuck.
Yeah. Yuck. but yeah, what about your story? Or I could pull up another one on mine. Up to you.
This one also involved friends. It said, am I the asshole for calling out my best friend for her hypocrisy? Which was like, I mean,
I let him cook. Try to do this whole open-mindedness.
Right. It says 3 months ago, my best friend came over to my place and we were having dinner with my sister. My sister mentioned how she wants to hit the gym and pay more attention on what she eats because she wants to lose a bit of weight for health and aesthetic reasons. Mm-hmm. My friend then said to her that she doesn't need to lose weight at all and needs to accept herself how she is and that she is beautiful as she is and she shouldn't lose weight for anybody, especially guys. I then told my friend it's okay if she wants to make this decision, then it's her decision and I totally support that decision. If my sister chooses to actively improve her health, and I don't see anything wrong with her wanting to change her aesthetics with sport. Mm-hmm. My friend then said that I basically said that my sister would be prettier if she loses weight, and in general, that being bigger or having a belly is ugly, and that low-key accused me of being fat-phobic. She said that I should accept my sister for how she is, doesn't matter how she looked or even if she is much bigger than she is now. I told her that I don't have anything against bigger people, and objectively I find a slimmer figure nicer than a bigger figure, but it doesn't mean that I'm fat phobic. That's just my preference. Also, my sister is primarily doing this for health reasons, and it's not like she's skinny obsessed or something. Conclusion for her, I think the bigger people are ugly and that I'm semi-fat phobic. Fast forward to yesterday, my friend complained about her bloated stomach and in general her stomach being big, and told me that she thinks that she gained weight so that she will pay more attention. Fast forward to yesterday, my friend complained about her bloated stomach and in general her stomach being bigger and told me that she thinks she gained weight so that she will pay more attention to what she eats to lose weight. I basically called her out because she made a shitstorm 3 months ago at my dinner table and accused me of being fatphobic because I supported my sister's decision to going to the gym and eating healthier, but now she wants to lose weight because she's gained weight. By her theory, she shouldn't do anything about it and accept her body how it is, and or else she thinks gaining weight is ugly and she is fatphobic herself. That was a mess. I'm sorry.
Very good. Oh my god. So,
yeah.
So what was most of the comments saying? You're not the asshole. All right, you're the asshole.
Yeah. A lot of the comments were like, "Not the asshole. I think your friend needs to do a lot of self-reflecting."
Yeah.
Yeah, they said not the asshole. By her own definition, she is fatphobic too.
Yes.
Yeah, not the asshole. You reap what you sow. I hope your sister kept her resolutions.
Yeah. I hope you get the resolution, but yeah, like with that definition, they're both like you're fatphobic, yes.
Yeah, I was like,
are.
Yeah, I mean, some people were like, obviously people are entitled to their own opinions. And it's like, I mean, you can't come at somebody being like, oh, you're fatphobic, because you should just love your sister for who she is, and then be like, I'm so fat, I need to lose weight.
Yeah, that because like so hypocrite. That's the definition right there of being hypocrite.
Absolutely.
I was like, support me, and then like, no, I'm fat now. I'm like, oh my god. Can you send me a link to that story?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just like it's crazy, but yeah, I was like, oh my god, not the asshole, but fatphobic as hell.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like if somebody has to like go balls to the wall being like, you're fatphobic, you probably got some internalized fat phobia going on.
Yeah,
like,
that's something you probably need a therapist.
Right, work on yourself.
Work on
yourself a little bit.
Just like figure that out. Talk to them about it. Don't put your problems on somebody else like that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
No fab.
Well, that is towards the end of our episode. Is there any last minute thing you want to talk about or say?
Not that I can think of.
Like,
I got my well crit cup. I was like, plug it.
Plug it. Mine's is somewhere. I think it's it was up here, but now it's gone. I was like, I don't know where it went. It's probably in the kitchen because I was washing it, so it's probably there. But yeah, well, crit, plug it. I was like,
got our podcast will come out eventually.
One day we're hoping, maybe March.
Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, the best. But yeah, make sure you follow our socials. They'll be down below. So yeah, thank you guys for checking out the Midnightgrabbag Podcast, and we see you next month for more juicy drama and news and opinions. Bye.
Absolutely.